It's Faith Over Everything. It's a podcast where we talk about everything.
Everything?
Everything. No topic is safe.
But we gon' give it to you through the lens of faith.
Alright.
So sit back, relax, and let us do what we do. It's your host, Jazz and Ange. It's the FOE crew.
Okay.
I said sit back, relax, and let us do what we do. We your hosts, Jazz and Ange. We the FOE crew.
Hey, FOE.
FOE.
Faith over everything.
Faith over everything.
FOE.
FOE.
Faith over everything. Hey y'all. Welcome to Faith Over Everything podcast. Welcome to fifth episode. It's our fifth episode of season 5. Woo woo. Oh, woo woo. We in there. I like swimwear. I am one half of your host. My name is Angela Suggs.
I am Jasmine Suggs.
And we are just gonna hop right into this thing. So we usually do like an icebreaker, normal icebreakers that you guys are used to, but you know, every now and then I be wanting to shake it up. So we are going to do a how black are you quiz. I took this quiz earlier, so I have my response. I have my answer. So we'll see yours. It's really quick. It is 4 or 5 questions. 5 questions. 5 question quiz. Okay. So question number 1. And if you guys want to take the quiz, I'll put the link in the description so you guys can take it yourself, find out how black you is according to this quiz, who I don't know who made the quiz. So because I saw this one quiz and I was like, oh, I should take it. And it said they updated it, but the updated person had no melanin. I said, I mean, she could have just
judge of this
girl. I said, so who made this quiz?
because you ain't black.
How you can't tell me how black I am. I'm blacker than you off top, like automatically. So anywho, I don't know who made this one, but they didn't put their picture on there. So anywho,
They black already. Ain't got no profile, no nothing. No, just playing.
ain't gonna trace it back to me. I ain't make this quiz.
Somebody don't tell me nothing.
Okay, question number 1.
Mm-hmm.
And these are multiple. You know, they have questions. They have what? Of course. Anyway, what do you call your mom's best friend? Auntie?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Miss whatever her last name is, or by her first name. Clearly, you already said auntie.
And you just said that it's a multiple choice. I'm like, auntie.
It's all right. It's all right. How do you know it's clean the house day? Number
Got
1.
that music playing. I'm sorry.
Number
wait.
1.
Let me wait.
There is no clean the house day. Number 2. You wake up to the sounds of neo soul or gospel and the smell of bleach. Number 3, you have a cleaning lady. So clearly we know hers is wake up to the music. Okay. That baby said, you hear that music? Girl, calm yourself.
I'm a listen now. Y'all, listen. I'm a listen. Okay, number 3.
Number 3. Which song, now this one tripped me up, okay? Which song is playing multiple times at the cookout? Number 1, Rock With You by Michael Jackson. Number 2, The Cha-Cha Slide. Or number 3, Before I Let You Go. That's what I feel like this is like a trick question because I feel like all of these could play multiple times at
They
the cookout.
definitely could play multiple times at a cookout. Cha-cha, maybe not just because it's so long. Before I Let You Go, I feel like they play it in the beginning, the middle, and the end. Which version? Is it like the original
It's like
version?
Frankie Beverly and Maze. Frankie
Okay.
Beverly and Maze, Before I Let You Go. Before I let go.
It's probably Frankie and them. I don't know. I don't remember. I mean,
Between
Michael
Rock With
Jackson.
You.
Yeah.
I wanna rock with you all night.
I could see either one of them playing. I'm gonna just go with Frankie and Beverly just because my mama named Beverly.
Aww. Before
It's
I
wrong.
go.
Look,
No,
I'm like,
ain't
is it
no
wrong?
right or it don't tell you. There ain't no right or
Oh,
wrong
it don't
answer.
tell
It's just
you
gonna tell
that.
you how black you is at the end.
Okay.
Number 4. If you go to a buffet with your mom, How old do you tell them you are? 1, your real age. 2, 12 or younger. 3, a teenager.
12 and younger, because you get that baby, get that. Listen, we getting that child. Listen, Yana and Jalen is still 12.
You go there, you tell them you 7. Okay, you are 7. Especially when you young, you be so happy to be different age.
Right.
How old are you?
Be like, actually, don't even talk to my kids, okay? Talk to the adult, the one that's paying. How
Exactly.
many? 2 adults, 3 kids.
Okay. Last question. Which of these unwritten Black laws apply to you most? Don't cut my name out the cake. Say a word twice to emphasize its meaning. I said what I said. You heard what I said. If everyone starts running, I'm running too. No snitching. And whenever you ask for something, your mom replied, people in hell want ice water.
Dang, because they all are there.
I ain't never had nobody say, don't cut my name out the cake.
You don't remember when we had went over, so, sorry, y'all, sidebar. When we had went over Uncle Odo and TT Helen house, and they did all the June birthdays, and they literally was like, okay, y'all, make sure y'all don't cut their names on their cake.
No.
Jayla had her name, DJ had his name, Aaron, Uncle Otis, like everybody had their name cut out.
I don't remember that.
Zoe had hers. It was 15 million names because there's a lot of June birthdays. 15 million names. And they did not cut them names out. But that don't pertain to me. I don't even think I get cakes with my name on it. But the blackest one, it would probably be when somebody running. I'm running along with them. Mm-hmm.
So that's your answer?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna go over what I put. All right. Okay. So my answers was, so I will say I didn't go back and change it because I was like, whatever, my answer is my answer. Because I thought it said Miss whatever her name is. So you'd be like, oh, Miss Tanya, whatever. But it says Miss whatever her last name is. I wouldn't say. If I had to choose, I probably would have chose Auntie if I would have read it right. But I chose the wrong one. So I had chose Miss whatever her last name is. The same answer. I wake up to the sound of bleach and music and Anita Baker in my home. Okay, that's what it was. It was Anita Baker. Before I let you go, everything else was the same. All the other answers were the same, except for that first one. So I got, because I was offended.
You ain't black.
I got barely black. I got barely black. You're only black when it's convenient. So sometimes you have to check yourself. You may claim black pride, but you like, if I was a man, but I like my queens only when they're Egyptian, not Nubian. I said, oh, so I only like light skin. I like,
well, who you married to?
He ain't light skin. He is caramel.
Okay.
Anywho, you got black enough. You're
black enough. What's the highest one? Listen,
I don't know this.
Not you getting offended. Like black enough.
You got black enough. Your upbringing was similar to your black brothers and sisters, but you choose to separate yourself from the stereotypes.
Well,
that's it.
You're on to something, baby. You're on to something. Because you know mine is other. I am other.
Whether you choose to separate yourself from the stereotypes, whether they be true or false. However, you do enjoy family gatherings from time to time, just to get a small taste of home, but not too much.
Sister, I tell you.
Oh, so yours is right, huh? So you black enough.
That's right. You must be barely black.
No, but I would have got black enough if I would have did the right answer.
We both would have been black enough.
Like, so, but I don't think
let's take it again and do the other answers
to see what the other ones would have been. Just for kicks and giggles. Let me see. Giggles.
So
let's see.
We still gonna go with. So
we're gonna go with
what was it? AT Miss.
We gonna do the last one. Girl, close this ad. Why is this ad up here? It was by her first name. So we're going to do by her first name.
We don't call people by their first name.
You have a cleaning lady or there is no clean the house day? Let's try to
cleaning lady.
Cleaning lady.
Yeah, because now it's new school people. We can afford a maid. Mm-hmm.
Rock with you or cha-cha slide?
Let's do cha-cha slide.
Your real age or a teenager?
Teenager.
We're gonna do your real teenager.
Oh, go ahead. Do real age. Do real age.
I already clicked it.
Oh.
The what you call it? Which are the unwritten black laws?
Oh, it was a whole bunch of them. Mm-hmm. What was them? Do the mama in hell thing.
People in hell want ice water. Ooh. So, okay, people in hell want ice water, cha-cha slide, have a cleaning lady, and you call a lady by her first name, you are Rachel Dolezal. You're not black at all. Either you aren't black at all, or you simply don't relate to the delicious melanin experience. And that is your loss.
Do it one more time. One more time.
That made me say, wait a minute, different answer. Okay, this is the last time, y'all.
You know what threw it off, though?
Calling a lady by her first name.
And having a cleaning lady. Because... Okay.
So what's the first? So what we gonna do now? My auntie? I mean, whatever.
We're gonna go back with auntie. Nah, we're gonna go back with auntie.
Okay, auntie. There is no clean the house day.
No. We gonna go with the music.
The music.
Mm-hmm.
Cha-cha slide.
We're gonna do rock with you.
Oh,
because then we do
cha-cha slide last time.
So do rock with you.
Your real age.
And then just name them black laws again.
Don't cut my name out the cake. Say a word twice to emphasize it. No snitching. Are the only 3 that we didn't pick.
Do the twice with the emphasis.
Oh, that's barely black. That's barely black.
Hey, there's no way.
You would barely black. You're not black at all.
And black enough.
Black enough. It had to be something that's like you
blackity black. Like how you get blackity black? Like I don't get.
Okay, auntie. Black. 12 or younger. I can't do it. Y'all probably I'm probably gonna cut this part out because we just playing around now. Auntie, the music, before I let go. Oh wait, we did that. What we did? What I was trying to do different. I'm gonna play with this later, y'all. We're gonna play with it afterwards.
Right. We're gonna put the description down. We're gonna see how black y'all is. Or
y'all
if
tell
y'all
us. If we can't figure it out.
If we have some listeners that's not really black, we should put that in there too so that we can see if they really black. If they blacker than us. Now, what if they come back like, oh, you black, and then they really not black?
No, that's a disgrace. We need to take my black. Y'all gonna take my black card. Don't tell me if you blacker than me. If you not black, I don't want to hear that.
If you are, let me know because I need to know what you put. Dude said, run and tell her because she don't like to be black. She only like to be black a little bit anyway.
They told me I'm only black when it's convenient, and that is not true. Okay, I'm black all the time. I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, and I'm black, y'all. And welcome again to the episode. We're about to jump right into the topic.
Yeah.
Okay, because we've been here for too long playing around with that quiz, but that was fun.
It was fun. We're going to have to incorporate that all the time now.
See, that's what I was thinking. I was like, we need to add like our how black are we section or like your black card revoked type section. That type of stuff. So, anywho, we are, y'all. My phone is just doing whatever it wants. I don't like it. Okay, so we are going to talk about, I feel like last year or whatever the Derek Jackson video stuff came out, I think we briefly touched on him and his wife making the video and then her having her helmet of salvation and all of those things. And so recently, Danae Jackson is his wife. Ex-wife. I think they're still married.
They're still married. Mm-hmm.
So it's his wife. So she finally did an interview where we were actually able to hear like her side of the story, hear everything. I'm gonna say her side of the story because he didn't really tell anybody anything. He just got caught cheating and that's it.
And that's that.
Yes, he just got caught cheating. And then I think he came out with a little apology with her with the helmet of salvation, but wasn't even apologizing. I don't even know what he was saying in that video. I don't remember.
Honestly, I don't even remember that interview.
We probably should have watched it just to get refreshed on what he was even saying in there, but we probably just
don't matter.
We knew it was bull. Like stank. You don't mean whatever it is you're saying, even if you are apologizing.
Right.
It ain't real. So either way it goes, since then they have filed for divorce. They're in the midst of divorce, and she came forward, did an interview on the Dear Future Wifey podcast, and y'all, them 2 parts was like 3 hours long. So if you didn't watch it and you want to watch it, go ahead. But if not, we'll just kind of give you the sum it up as to what it was. I guess I guess they kind of like went over her. I ain't even gonna like go into like the whole breakdown of it. I'm just gonna point out the things that like stuck out to me, or we can talk about what stuck out to us. You can start first if it's anything that stuck out to you first, or
on the first part,
or just in general.
In general, so the first part for me, it was like, okay, for real, am I finna really sit here and watch 3 hours? But the good thing about it was, it didn't seem like it was 3 hours. Like, it really was. And of course, I was able to do it while I was doing hair, so that helped a lot as well. I listen, she was funny to me. I mean, she just, her personality was just like, girl, you funny. Like, you funny. And it was like, I don't even think she was trying to be funny for some of the parts. Like, I mean, she definitely was throwing a lot of shade, but it don't matter to me. Like, I like, throw all the shade you want, girl. No, but yeah, like just hearing her backstory of like from like the beginning of like losing your dad and being raped, and then meeting him, and you know, you feeling like the ugly duckling, he's feeling like or you seeing him as the fine jock. Like, it was just like kind of like what they were saying about being like this fairy tale movie show, whatever. But now you're living it out, and it was just certain things that was like, okay. And I'm telling y'all now, I'm mixing part 1 and part 2 together, because there were certain things that were said in part 1 that was in part 2 that I'm intertwining them together, just to let you know. But like when she was talking about like, he would be at the condo and she'll be at the mansion, and it was just kind of stuff like, she was letting a lot of stuff slide, not saying that this is her fault or anything like that. But it was like certain things that I feel like she ignored just because she probably felt like, okay, he's still coming home to me or whatever, like that type. Well, actually, I don't even know if he was coming home, but you know, like the whole
I'm
persona,
still the wife, really.
I'm still Mrs. Jackson. That's the type thing or whatever. Like, I'm, you know, call me Mrs. Jackson if you're nasty. That's what they kept on saying. I was cracking up. And Janet Jackson actually just came here. Well, I don't know when it's gonna come out. This coming out. What? Don't matter.
This come out Friday.
Oh, okay. So she just came here last week.
She was just in Milwaukee, I think, last week too. Or
yeah. And one of my coworkers, she was like, "Girl, that show." She was like, she don't age, and she was still getting it. And then my other coworker was like, "Girl, I can't even like." I think she said she younger than her or something like that. Yeah, she was like, "I'm 10 years younger than her," and it's a hard time getting out my bed. I was like, listen,
because Janet Jackson is old. I mean, she's old. She's older.
I think she said 57 or something. I was like,
she definitely in her 50s, like
59, 57, 59. I don't know, something like that.
That baby do good. Listen, she's better than me too.
Yeah, she doing better than me, because listen, it be a struggle. Sorry if y'all hear AJ getting his life, okay? But
he be all right. She 57.
Yeah, 57. There you go. So yeah, yeah, it was just things that it was like, okay, I can see like what I can see certain things of why she not why, but the reason of what she was in that situation for. Like, she let a lot of stuff slide. She let a lot of stuff. I don't know, maybe she got to the point where it's like, it's been so many that it's not even phasing to me, which, excuse me, was sometimes I'd have been like, you know, outside looking in, you'd be like, dang, girl, why you just didn't leave or whatever. And it was like, it's easier said than done. Like, as anybody knows, like in any relationship, anything, like it's easier said than done to just be like, why you just didn't get up and leave or whatever like that. I mean, eventually she did for a good 8 months or whatever. But yeah, she still came back or whatever. So it was like, just her story. It was like, okay, I can see like, having abandonment issues, having insecure issues, having all these different issues, and kind of basically trying to handle it by herself, like not getting eventually she did get 3 therapists or get the help that she needed, but at first, like, she just going through the motions by herself, going through everything by herself, and it wasn't like she could console into like her friends and her mom, which I was like, oh, I'm just so grateful for our in-laws, because like I don't know what that is to not have a relationship with my husband's family, you know what I'm saying? And it was like, it seemed like that was kind of like another like underlying issue that some people may not have seen, like that had an effect, but to me, I'm like, that's a big effect. Like you, like, it's just y'all, like y'all, you know, like even if y'all move or whatever, like it don't matter. Like, we all the way in Texas, y'all all the way in Arizona, our family all the way in Wisconsin. Like, we still, like, there's not
purposely go out our way to hang out with each other, see each other, talk to each other, like include each other. We got a family group chat, like all of those things. Like,
so it's just like that. I couldn't relate to that part. So I was just like, oh, I'm so grateful for, like, you know, being able to like actually have a family outside of my blood family, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it was just like, okay, that could have been a huge effect as well. But yeah, overall, it was just like, kind of like the guy was saying on the podcast, like you could see that she healed, because not one time did I see her like choke up, about to cry.
She had one moment where she was like, I'm getting emotional. But she didn't let it, you know, but it's normal. I mean, I would expect that, you know. Like,
yeah, I thought, listen, but I wasn't like, that she was gonna be bawling like every time through the, like, just even hearing like the way that she was repeating it, like when they went to that retreat or something, and he wrote down like how do you know 100 names? Like, y'all burning it? Like, it was just so many different things that was going through my head, and I was just like, she is very strong. Very strong. I mean, I still like, she tried to explain the part where she was when she was talking about the people and they kids and stuff like that, and tried to
she was like, I was just reading from the word.
I need to know y'all word. I was just like, I can see me being petty like that.
Is it my fault that y'all know y'all Bible? Listen. The word say that. That's what the Bible said. He like, but you can't be talking about people's children and stuff.
But she said,
because she was like, I don't understand. What's the problem? Did the word not say that?
Like,
he said, I think the issue was you talking about people's children. You wishing that.
But what did the Bible say? The Bible said. I mean, honestly, she is right. But like, I still like that just part. I was like, nah.
But no, I ain't gonna hold you. I feel like what you was just saying, like when you in your, I wouldn't even say petty, but like when you're in your, like, you know, y'all not about to come for me on these interwebs, like, you know, whatever. And if what I'm reading is truly scripture, what the problem is?
I don't see a problem. Like, and she was dead serious. She was like, I don't see a problem. Like, please tell me where I'm wrong. Like, I'm just quoting the word. She's like, go back to like knowing the verses and everything. Like, go back to that, which is like so crazy, because, you know, that's how a lot of us get. Like, we pick and choose what scriptures we want to take out the Bible and put it towards our life or whatever like that. So it's like, it's understandable of why she did that or whatever. Of course, it's like a whole context and content that we're missing or whatever. And she snatched that word out and was like, well, it's scripture, so I'm going to say it or whatever like that. But yeah, it was just, overall, I felt like the interview hopefully will help other people, if they are going through like something like that, like consistent, like nothing is changing, nothing is trying to be changed or whatever like that. Like, hopefully her testimony, her interview will help someone. I mean, I'm never condoning a divorce, but I'm also not condoning adultery either. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like, it was something that, and like how she was saying it, she was still gonna work it out with him. So it was like, you a bold cookie. Like, I don't even know, like, what. Maybe that's why she wasn't crying, because it was like, I'm all tears out. Like, I don't have nothing to give you, sweetheart. You've taken everything from me. So yeah, that kind of sums up what I got out that interview. So hopefully, prayerfully, that she does go to that retreat that he was mentioning, that healing retreat
in Los Cabos. I was like, girl,
when he kept saying it though, why did I keep thinking he was saying Hillary retreat? I'm like, now what Hillary Banks got to do with it? Like, what is going on? But then I had looked and it was said healing. I was like, oh, duh, that makes sense or whatever. So yeah,
Hillary Banks, what she doing?
Right. I was like, I need $300.
Hillary,
like
Hillary, Hillary.
If y'all don't know Hillary Banks, that's Fresh Prince. Sorry,
don't even explain it. If y'all don't know it, y'all cannot sit with us.
Because look, how black are y'all? Listen, they don't even got to do with black. Y'all don't know it,
y'all can't sit with us. Okay?
How human are you?
Like, no, they can't be black. You ain't got to be. I mean, granted that he did cross over. I think Fresh Prince did cross over, but no. If you, well, you know what? Let me not say that because I do feel like they put Fresh Prince and Martin up against each other. So you got to know one or the other. If you don't know Fresh Prince, I'm not all that mad at you because if you know Martin, I'll let you slide. But if you don't know Martin or Fresh Prince, something is wrong.
Listen, take all the black and brown cards away, okay? Like, you are revoked.
You Rachel Dolezal out here. Listen. Okay, so back to whatever. But yes, I hope she do too, because he said he was going to sponsor her to go if she wanted to go. She said she did want to go.
She got her passport and everything.
Yeah, she did.
Which we still waiting for our passport, but
it's going to come. So I will say this. I do feel like this interview, in my opinion, this interview was good for her because up until now, all we knew was that she was his wife. She sat next to him with that beret on. Okay. It was a beret, but you know, internet made it a bonnet. And then she had said it herself, like, I just couldn't think of anything. So I was just like, oh, it's the helmet of salvation. Like, you know, so it was just like, so all we knew was that, you know, the helmet of salvation, the bonnet, she his wife, she done been cheated on, she damning people lives and their children, like so it's just like, you know, all we saw was the social media portion of her, which was just in response to what was going on, you know, whatever. Even on her page, you know, she probably was posting just prior to even all the mess going on publicly that we knew about. The things she would post would probably be like questionable or whatever, because I don't know. Like, I mean, I didn't follow her. I might follow her now because I feel like this interview just made her human. Like, it not even that, not that she wasn't human, but like,
yeah, I get you.
It made you just be like, okay, you're just a woman. You're just somebody that had went through some stuff and experienced some stuff.
And bad.
Yes, like, girl, you done been through it, and you sitting, like you said, you sitting up here smiling and laughing. And I understand a lot of times it's easier to laugh. You know, not to say that she's still in pain. I'm pretty sure some of it that still is whatever. But like I said, she's healed to a point when I can laugh at it. Like, granted, I might still, I might still be going through some stuff, but now I can talk about it. I can laugh about it, you know, whatever. And it's just like, because I mean, really what stuck out to me, where my heart really went out to her, was when, you know, she was like, she had been, you know, she had been raped or whatever. So she had been sexually assaulted, and then she met him 3 weeks later, you know, whatever. So it was like, you just dealt with this traumatic experience in your life, and then you meet this man, you know, whatever. You already feel, because she said she had pimples and all this other stuff. So you probably already don't think that you're like this pretty girl. Then here comes this man that you think is, everybody think is so cute and so fine or whatever else. And he wants you, you know, whatever. And he like, oh, and then she used to model, she said. So she had her little pictures on her binder, and he like, oh, are you a model? So, you know, that kind of like sparked their relationship. And here he is, he want me, and I then went through this, because she said he didn't even know that about that experience until years down the line. Like, you know, so it wasn't like, you know, because I feel like I've seen some like feedback on it where they're like, oh, he preyed on her. I'm like, I mean, he still might have preyed on her, but he didn't prey on that aspect of her, because he didn't even know that she had been, you know, assaulted that way.
So he says, no, just playing.
Girl, I ain't even gonna hold you, because a part of me had that like,
a little bit, like, I ain't gonna lie. Because when I heard it, I was like, 3 weeks later, huh? Like,
Mm-hmm.
did he set that up? Like, because now you are the monster of the earth. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm looking at you differently now. I mean, not that I knew who this guy was anyway. But
I never followed him. I didn't do it. Like, I seen videos. I had seen a video or two, but I never was like, oh, look.
But y'all can't count me as nothing because I don't be seeing nothing, y'all.
I don't even... I see what everybody send me.
Like, who is
clearly, clearly, when we were on the last episode with Brian and you was talking about that battle rap and he said it was 2 years ago, you was like, oh, two years ago. see? Which, I mean, listen. I mean, but again, that's not our lane, so you wouldn't see it. But still, it's still like, I don't even be on social media like that.
So, yeah. So, a part of... Sir?
Y'all better let my nephew do whatever he wants. It's his birthday weekend. Okay. And I'm not cutting this part out. Funny. I ain't cutting this part out because it's my nephew's birthday weekend. Happy birthday, AJ. Okay. If he want to walk in the room, he can walk in the room.
he just about to like...
He wanted to come say hi to the people. Y'all say happy birthday to my nephew.
He's a whole hand, y'all. A whole hand. He is 5 years old. But anywho, forgot what the heck I was talking about. God dog. The part. Yeah, a little bit of me. I was like, that sounds kind of fishy. Like, did he set her up? Like, like I would hate that he would do certain thing, such thing like that. But she did say that she had knew the person or something like that. And
it was at like an event or something.
Yeah, like I think a house party or something like that. I don't know what it was.
It was something where like it was a lot of family at, and then like they ended up downstairs or whatever. They ended up
in a
basement
or something like that. Yeah. So I was just like, that's the only thing that's letting me like not believe that he had anything to do with that, because she did say, she knew this person or whatever, and she stayed there and stuff like that. And I don't think. Well, clearly she wasn't, like telling everybody about it, which I'm pretty sure that ain't nothing that I don't know. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that that's something that, kind of, I think she said it in the interview, like she tried to forget about like that it ever even happened. So I'm like, I can see that happening or whatever. But I was just like, because of all the stuff that we know about him now, I'm like, he set you up, girl, from the beginning. Like, but nah.
He knew that man. But yeah, but it is definitely, unfortunate that happened. But yeah, so that happened. She met him. They ended up dating. So they were in college, clearly, because she said they were 19. They dated. But then even while in college, he was cheating on her, whatever. But she kept saying like, well, define, let's define.
Now, that was cracking me up.
She was like,
define commitment.
Yes, let's define that. Let's, break that down. Because, I mean, we were together, but we weren't together, stuff like that. So, but even then, essentially, since the beginning of their relationship, he's kind of just been stepping out. He's had other relationships. There was the timeline, basically, like I said, they met 19, got together. At some point, they ended up getting engaged. I believe they was engaged. When they engaged, when they was moving to Atlanta, but then they had broke up. So yeah, they were engaged. They were going to move to Atlanta together. I think they were in like Colorado or something. I don't remember, but they were going to move to Atlanta together. But then they ended up breaking up. But then they both still moved to Atlanta because they had planned to move to Atlanta, had got jobs and everything. So they moved separately, and then they were living separately, but they were still hooking up. So they wasn't engaged no more, but they were still hooking up. And she said they was hooking up. And like, I'm trying to figure out, like, did she know? So they were hooking up. They weren't together. He had other women. So the other women knew about her too, because she was saying how they would pass each other on the stairs. So they knew about each other. Like, oh, hey, girl.
Well, that's what it sounded like. At least that's what
it sound like, part. Like, hey, girl, I'm off. Hope you like tap in.
Yeah, like team. That's the way we like.
Oh my goodness. I didn't.
That's what came to my head when you just went like that. That was like tag team.
Listen, so like they would go, like she was like, she would go talk, she would go be with him. Not even just like be with him, but just, she would go spend time with him and, hang out. I mean, they was being together too, but, but it was like they weren't in a committed relationship at that point either. And really, I think what made them even get committed was that she ended up getting pregnant.
Right. Which I was confused because, like, if you knew that he was stepping out or doing
sleeping with other people,
his little razzle dazzle, you letting him raw dog you?
I mean, at this point in life, Jasmine, we have watched enough Paternity Court to know
That's true.
that everybody, like, when you see people, you just be like, or you hear the stories, like the men or even the women, like, oh, I knew she was, you know, the neighborhood, whatever. Well, if she's the neighborhood ride, why are you not protecting yourself? Like, why, if you know, everybody on the block then hit that, why are you not protecting yourself? You know, whatever, like babies, diseases, anything can come from that. So it's like, and then even with women, like, oh, I knew, he was sleeping with such and such, or, when they have a baby or they get pregnant, like, well, he was out here cheating and he was doing XYZ and he was, so you knew that he was sleeping with multiple women. It both ways. Like, I don't understand it. I don't get it,
But I wonder, was he raw dogging all of them? Like, do he got more kids out here? Like,
I'm pretty sure they probably would have came forward by now if he did. I don't know.
Did he pay for the abortions?
Like, old dude that said he would do it. 7 baby mama, 7 kids.
Right. Right.
So I don't know, but it's just, you hear it, you're like, okay, so she was doing that. So I think, like, kind of like hearing it, you can be like, okay, well, she willingly participated in this, which she did. Ultimately, she did, whatever. So that, like I said, she got pregnant. They had a baby. He ended up deciding that he wanted to get married to her, asked her mama for her hand in marriage. And she was like, I just knew, because like, him and mama, they don't get along. Like, they don't, whatever. So for him to go ask my mama, like, I'm like, oh, he's serious. Like, so they end up getting engaged. Was this when she was pregnant? Or was this before?
She was pregnant because...
No, I'm saying, like, did he ask the mama for the hand in marriage before they had broke up engagement, or after she got pregnant again?
So maybe when they moved to Atlanta, maybe they were just committed. I don't think that they were engaged yet, because
No, they were engaged before Atlanta. I remember that part. Because she said that they had... I believe so. I don't know, y'all.
They broke.
Y'all know the way my memory worked. I might have it all just misconstrued, but that's what happened. They was doing something. They moved to Atlanta separately, but together, or whatever else. They ended up getting back together because she got pregnant. They got married, or whatever else. And but I mean, the only thing I was confused about, I really wasn't confused about, because they didn't necessarily go into too much detail about it, was like, so he was just making sex tapes. Because she said she was watching
them. Yes. I was just like, and then you finding them, or he's sending them to, like, well, he couldn't be sending them to him because she wouldn't tell him why she was crying in the closet. So
she knew that he was cheating on her. Like, even from back in college, she knew that he stepped out on her. She knew that he was like, like when they were supposed to be committed or together, but she never approached him. She never confronted him about it. So he just cheating, to our knowledge. He cheating, thinking that he getting away with everything, and this baby know everything.
And he being sloppy about it because she watching the videos,
girl. And she talking about she studying the videos. She know them women's body better than she know her own body. She trying to mimic them in bed and all of these things. And it's just like, girl, what is going on?
The boldness, though. Like, my mom
would have went crazy. I would have went. No, I would have went. I don't want.
You remember this noise? You remember this part? Because you're doing it with Keisha.
I don't remember nothing. I can't even imagine watching a video with my husband with anybody else. Like,
absolutely not.
No, I don't know
why he's still breathing.
Oh.
I'm sorry, Mama Elaine. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's what I thought of. As soon as you said it, I said, "Ooh."
God dog it, I was doing so good.
Jessica gonna get a whoop. Jessica gonna get a whoop.
I did this whole season without threatening nobody.
But with that, though, the pettiness that this is the actual reality that she lived. So when she was talking, and she had mentioned at one point, she said something about somebody's names, and he was like, "Them ain't their real names." And she was like, "Okay. Yeah, sure." He was, because they had bleeped him out, and then he was like, "No, for real." She like, I mean, she probably like, I don't care about these. I don't care. Susie.
Right. And even though out of 100 names, them probably, listen, it's slim to none how many names I can actually say.
The name she made up was probably real names.
Exactly.
On the
That's
list.
what I'm saying. Like, them was on the list.
Said,
like, oh my
she was like, oh, okay. That baby said, that ain't real names, is it? Okay, sure.
If you say so.
He was like, Danae. You can't be using real names. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it just really made her personable. It made her human. It made you relate to her as a woman. Like, okay, now I can see, in my opinion, because everybody might be like, oh, I don't see it. I see it. I can be like, okay, girl, I got why you did what you did. I see it. I'm like, shoot, you in Dallas, girl. Let me come visit Dallas and find out where you at. We about to take you out. We about to go.
Who was I? Oh, I was watching it. Okay. So I was like, who was I watching it with? Because we was like, Plano. She definitely came to our church before. Like, she had to have came to our church before. Like, there's no way that you're in Plano and you don't come to our church. Like, that's, how black are you? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I said, wait a minute. I was like, shoot, Jess we about to listen, Danae, we about to hang out with you, girl, because listen.
Girl, listen. Like, but I kept on telling, like, when I was talking, because I was doing cat hair, that's who it was. We was watching together, and I was like, I feel like, what's the age difference between their housewife, their future wifey, host?
Oh. And her,
and Danae,
because they seemed like they had a little.
Yes, I was like, I mean, I know it's too soon for her to be, you know, step into another relationship or whatever. She definitely needs time for herself and heal and everything like that. But
it was funny because I had that thought, but I was like, I'm not gonna say nothing because I don't want. Because she did say, she definitely is still healing. She don't want to date. She don't want to do whatever. So I was like, I don't, I'm being too much. I'm just, but I kind of felt the little chemistry. I was like,
I did. I said, well, like, what's the age difference? What y'all talking about? Like, because he and Dallas too.
Laterra's how old is he? Something like that.
Whitfield. Because I was like, is that Sheree last name? Is they related?
Oh, yeah. But how old you is?
Yeah. So I was definitely over here trying to play Love Connection through the YouTube.
Through the YouTube. I was like, put y'all couches a little closer.
Right. Like, come on, yellow, black. Come on, scoot.
But no,
if I see them in Texas, I'm be like, y'all interview was really good. Y'all got some chemistry, don't y'all? I know y'all not ready. We'll wait. Maybe around her birthday, see them together. Or maybe he gonna do it on a healing retreat. No, because that's in November.
She ain't gonna be ready by then.
She might be.
She still ain't divorced yet. And I do like how she was like, she's not divorced yet. Like, and she ain't, she, not that, because he was like, are you waiting to date? Low key, I'm like, you asking for yourself.
That's what you asking. I was like, see, I kept hitting cat. I was like, see. He asked the questions for himself.
Because then she was just like, no. She was like, oh, no, absolutely not. Like, that's not what she wants. She was like, right now she in her season of freedom. And I was like, yes. Because, I mean, you have to think, this has been 14, because she's 33. This has been 14 years of her life that she's been in this relationship where... And it's crazy because it's like, okay, like you said, on the outside looking in, you can look at it and be like, well, why would she stay with him? Why would she do this? Why would whatever. We have to look at that's why I said, is with talking to her, we can get the full picture, whatever. So it's like, she's coming off of this traumatic experience. She get with this man when she's 19, even without the traumatic experience. Being 19, like, you young, whatever, and you're just...
it was the best thing since sliced bread. Like,
it's just, I mean, just being young and naive. Like, not everybody got it together when they're young. Like, listen,
it was when they old, sweetheart.
I was watching a TikTok. This lady said, I think she studied psychology. Oh, I should have saved this video, y'all. This lady basically was talking about how, the world tells you that you've grown when you're 18. She was talking about, but your mind really doesn't even mature until a certain age, whatever. She's like, and then basically she was talking about how, in her opinion, she was saying we are not fully adults until we are 21. And then right now she was like, I think she said she was 36 or whatever else. She was like, so y'all expect me at 36, whatever, to have all of these things. And she was like, and really in adult years, I'm only 16. I'm only 15. Like, she was like, I'm only 15. So like, I'm 15 adult years. She said, I feel like that's how we should talk about things. Like, we should talk about how old we are in adult years, okay? Because I've only been in this thing for 15 years. Then somebody had commented, it was like, they feel like we shouldn't do whatever until we're 25. And then she was like, after meeting with the delegation, we have decided that adults start at 25. Like, so now I'm only 11 years. Like, like, I'm only 11 years, but I was like, what she was saying was like for real true stuff. Because it's like, you don't, when you, from birth until 18, most of us, because, some people have very traumatic, whatever.
Yeah.
But most people, when you're born until you're 18, you're in your parents' house, you graduate high school, and then you go off to college, whatever. And really, in between all of those, like even when you in college, you're still doing the things that you was doing at home, which is hanging out with your friends, going to class, doing homework. You might have a little part-time job, but you was doing that in high school. Nothing really changes other than the fact that your parents ain't in the same household
location.
With you.
Right. Your location.
Yeah, like they're not in
and
the same
that's for
household
some people.
with you.
Some people still live at home when they're, going to college.
And then even then, once you are, if you're trying to go to a doctor, you're trying to do whatever, you still gonna call your mama or your daddy and ask them, how do I go to the doctor? How do I do this? How do I? And
what's my insurance card number?
Time out. Now that I think about it, they own to something. You're not an adult until you're 26. You know why?
That's when you get to get off your parents' insurance.
You telling me, listen, if I can still be on my parents' insurance till I'm 26, how you gonna treat me like an adult? Furthermore, even with FAFSA, like, I gotta
still need your parents' information. I mean, there's certain ways that you can get around it. Y'all let me know if y'all need to know it, but because I used to work in the apartment, you know what I'm saying? But
it's like, it's just so many different things. Like, y'all expect us, I'm just pointing all that out to say at 19, you're not mature enough to make decisions. Even in your 20s, you're not all the way mature. Most people, well, some people, I ain't gonna say most, some people are not mature. I would say I was an immature 20-something year old, whatever. I was thinking about just different things. I ain't been married all my life, y'all. I didn't get married till I was in my 30s. Okay, so I done dated some people. I done did some stuff. And I be thinking, I was talking to somebody one day and I was like, you think about all the dumb stuff that you did for dudes, or like, what did I do that for? And then you think about it like, why did I do that? Like, what was wrong with me? We can talk about it offline. I ain't put my business out here, Jasmine. It wasn't nothing like illegal or whatever, but it was just
I have done illegal things for no, just playing.
I have not. But it was like, well, you know what? I'm gonna say, I ain't gonna just go do it real fast. It ain't nothing crazy. So the boyfriend situationship I had, he lived with his brother. Him and his brother lived together. And I guess, I ain't in their finances. I don't know what's going on. They got evicted or whatever. The same day they got they got evicted, and then the people changed the locks, and they stuck they had it was like something that they needed out the house, and they like, dude, we need it's in the basement. Andrew, you can fit through the window. But this is, mind you, y'all, this all the same day, so it wasn't like we came back days later. It was like you can fit through the window. So y'all, I went in that basement.
So what she's saying is she did do something illegal.
It wasn't illegal because it was the same day. Because if you say I'm evicted on the 31st, it's still the 31st. So I'm not, the first is when I'm technically evicted. Y'all changed the locks today.
You evicted when I changed them locks.
Nah.
She's sticking to her story. Nah. I
went in that basement.
Baby.
I went in that basement. I unlocked the door. They got what they needed, and we left. They didn't mess up nothing. They didn't do nothing crazy, okay? But I think about that, and I'm like, but if the police would have showed up, they wouldn't have cared. Like you said, the locks was changed. I'm like, why did I do that for? Why I did that for, y'all? But I was stupid. I would not do that. I would not do that present day. I don't recommend anybody to do that. And mama, don't you judge me. I was young and I was stupid. I said it myself. I was young and stupid. Okay. Jesus. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I can relate to being, young and dumb, making stupid decisions. Or not making stupid decisions, because she didn't make a stupid decision necessarily. But I can see your frame of mind just being like her getting involved with this man and then just really falling head over heels in love with this
vulnerable
man. Mm-hmm. Yes. And just being like, okay, I think he loved me. Everything he do, whatever. Like because at the end of the day, it all comes back to, he gonna come back to me. It's always gonna be me. So I don't know. So, and then, so like you said, with her being now, she's going through her healing process and, you know, things are getting better. And I like that about her. And then she said that she was doing her own little, I forgot what it was. She's working on her own little ministry.
Like
Not
a
ministry.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess it was a ministry.
Yeah, it
like
was
she's
a ministry.
Working, which I was like, I can appreciate her ministry too. I think he even touched on it. Let me say another thing about him real fast. I love how when he talked about the whole helmet of salvation thing and like how everybody online had got on her and everything, and he was like he wanted to make sure that like wasn't nobody gonna say nothing about her. Like
Yeah.
he said, I got a makeup
That's
artist.
his future wife. Listen, he was like, what y'all ain't gonna do is y'all ain't gonna come for my wife because she finna be slayed. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody finna be talking about her.
He vetted her like before they had actually, because so they had already had like conversations, whatever, and so they probably he probably was like, oh wait a minute, is this her, Lord?
Let me write my letter.
But no, like I loved how he cared. You know, he was intentional with her in that sense of like, okay, let me make sure the internet ain't gonna talk about you. They're not gonna talk about you. We're gonna make sure you look good. And she was even feeling herself because she was like, wow, yes, you know, like she was talking about how she was fine and stuff. And I was like, you better, Danae. You is, girl. You are. You look good. So I love that. But she got her own little retreat thing, and then he was her ministry.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was saying like he he liked how, of course, this is not going to be something that she's just like, oh, you know, let's talk about this. No, I've experienced this. I've lived this. So, you know, she can be a help to someone, like, you know, because I'm a, you know, living testimony that you can get through it. Because I mean, there definitely was hard times. I want to say she said there were times where, you know, she thought about, you know, bad
and
things.
even attempted.
Mm-hmm. So it's like, you know, that, and it's so crazy because I was in the car today and and it's just, you know, just songs that you hear all the time, whatever. And it's just, I don't know, maybe after seeing her podcast and then just thinking about how precious life is. Like life is so truly precious. And it's unfortunate that like, I mean, it's not, oh, I guess it's unfortunate, but it's also a part of life that we're going to deal with like trials, tribulations, things happen, you know, whatever. I do think that's a heavy misconception from unbelievers that like once you become a believer that everything is like peaches and happy and strawberries and rainbows, and
which it's not the opposite.
Like it's not. It's just as hard.
You need the helmet of salvation, like you said.
Exactly. So it's just like, but I was listening to, I think I was singing it earlier, like Lord You're Mighty, whatever. So that song, and he was just in the song where it says like, like you made the sun, the moon. Oh, okay.
I'm like, because you know, Zion back.
I mean, I was gonna start singing it, but I was like, no. But it's like whatever. You made the sun, the moon, the stars, everything. You know, all of those things, and I'm just like, it's things that we just take for granted every day. Just the beauty of, you know, every day, like waking up in the morning and seeing the blue sky and seeing the star or seeing the sun, whatever. And you're just like, oh, you know, I was in the car driving when I was listening to it and it was sunny and bright. And I'm just like, oh, you know what, Lord, you are mighty. Like it's a beautiful day, you know, whatever. And it just reminded me that like when you're going through tough times or whatever, there is that sunlight at the end of the tunnel. Like you're going to get back there. You know, nothing ever stays, you know, dark days, you know, whatever. And it's like just thinking about Danae, like she has went through this relationship for this 14 years. And so even when she said like, I just feel like I'm not ready to date because right now I'm in my season of freedom. And I was just like, yes, like you just think about like just coming from, because she was living, like you said, she crying in the closet. She was living really, she living in the mansion and he living over in the condo, living his best life, doing whatever he want to do. She think he got the condo for business purposes. He taking care of business, all right.
Child, let me tell you.
He's taking care of business. So it's just like, but I think it made her it gave a full picture. I mean, granted, even I ain't gonna say everything she said was true. Everything was true from her perspective, you know, whatever. Because I don't want to make it seem like, oh, we just gonna believe, you know, everything she said. But I mean, I don't know. It's her, you know, her version, his version. Then even the way he asked for a divorce, sir.
Yeah.
He just texted her. We in the same house. You send me a text talking about something, I don't want to be in a marriage no more. Then when she say, okay, that's what you want. Okay, what she say? Okay, if that's what you want, or okay, that's how you feel. Did he make a video the next day talking about some? If somebody texts you, it's how you feel. It's manipulative. What, sir? Sit down. So I'm like, yes, girl, run, run, Danae, run far away and never return. Okay. Listen to Uncle Scar. Okay, Uncle Scar told you. All right, don't go back.
Well, what do I do? Run.
And never return. Like, you can return, take them kids to their daddy, and then you go back your business. Okay, y'all do that co-parent. I'm definitely gonna be praying that y'all have a great co-parenting relationship. Y'all can get past this season in y'all life, whatever. If they even go, well, nah. Run. And never return.
Never return.
So it's like, I just, whatever. That's it. That's all we got to say about that. Yes. If you guys want to watch it again, I'm gonna put at part 1. I ain't putting both of them. Part 1, the link, whatever. Y'all know what I'm saying. Do that. Before we get out of here, I wanted to read something, and I wanted to get Jasmine's reaction. Okay, so there are these Reddit posts where people be asking, like, are they a jerk? Are they the butthole of a situation? Okay. So this one is, am I the butthole for refusing to babysit while the family goes on vacation? So my aunt is retiring. She's made plans to go on a 3-day cruise to Hawaii. All her adult children are going. They invited our side of the family, but nobody told me. I'm not on Facebook, which is the only place that they communicate. They have my number. Still, no one asked me though. My entire family made plans for weeks to go. They made accommodations. They bought tickets and everything. No one mentioned it to me in all that time. Finally, it's a week away, and I bring up to the family at my parents' house about how I hope she has fun and should I get her a gift, etc. And my sister says, yeah, grab her something. We'll give it to her on the cruise. This is the first time I'm hearing about them going. They said they assumed I was staying to watch the babies for them.
I know you lying.
My cousin's 3-year-old, my sister's 2-year-old, and twin infants. I feel like they didn't tell me specifically, so I'd be the only person not going, and they could try to force me to watch all the kids. Well, I told them, no thanks. I told them I still had time to make accommodations, and I was going to come too, because I would like to go. I honestly didn't want to go after feeling left out like that, but I figured maybe if it was really an accident, that they wouldn't mind if I tried to get ready, tried to go. I took the time off, and then my cousin, who was coordinating the entire thing, texted me saying she was so sorry, but there's no space left. She only secured enough for everyone that RSVP'd and that the cruise is sold out. But I'm welcome to fly out and hang out with everyone in Hawaii if I can find my own accommodations. But since everyone planned on me taking the kids, I need to find childcare first.
For their kids? This gotta be some type of joke.
I told her, nobody ever called me to even discuss me taking some kids. She didn't reply. So since I had already taken the time off, my boyfriend and my adult son decided to take our own vacation. We all packed up the day before my family left and took off for a week-long vacation, states away. And I purposely didn't tell anybody. I started getting calls the next morning as everyone was coming to my house expecting to drop off their kids. I didn't answer my phone. I refused their calls and ignored their messages the whole trip. We had a fantastic time and we made great memories. When I got back home, my family was furious. They said multiple people had to drop out of the trip and couldn't get their money back because they couldn't find last minute childcare. I told them that's too bad. That sucks. They should have arranged something before they left. I reminded them no one ever set anything up with me, and since I already had the time off, I decided to enjoy that time with my family. I'm sorry it didn't work out for y'all, but I never offered to watch anybody's kids. You all assumed I would because you didn't invite me. My cousin thinks I'm being a complete butthole, that this isn't how family treats each other. It was an accident that no one told me, but it's not her fault. She assumed I had been told and assumed I'd be okay with having the kids because I have before. She said, but that was with discussion and coordination. She thinks I was being really selfish and childish and purposely going out of my way to be a butthole. She's even saying I'm lucky they didn't call the police on me for child abandonment because they expected me to be home and able to care for them all. I told her that's ridiculous. You can't just assume and expect things without my permission and input, and you can't report me to the police for not wanting to take care of y'all babies.
Exactly.
Was I being an a-hole?
No.
Should I have just kept things peaceful and spent time with the kids? Since I got the time off anyways, I could have done some fun things with them, but I really didn't want to. My house is not kid proof. Whatever. That was basically it. She's putting in the other thing. She's not interested in relieving them and taking care of other people's kids. Clearly, we know where Jasmine stands.
Girl! What type of family? Like, I honestly don't get that part. Like, first of all, it's not like these kids are young enough to, or no, old enough to watch themselves. So,
these is babies.
These are babies. Like,
they need attention.
3, 2, and infants?
She's a 3-year-old. Yep, a 3-year-old, a 2-year-old, and
twin infants. So you expect no. The people that's being the buttholes is the ones that made these arrangements and did not include you in it. If you didn't want me to go and you wanted me to watch your kid, the first time that they mentioned that, knowingly that you got a 3-year-old and a 2-year-old and twin infants, you need to be making arrangements for your children. Don't just because I did it a couple of times. No, I did it a couple of times just because I wanted to.
And even then, we discussed it. You told me about it. I agreed to do this.
You cannot assume any of that. That's foolish. That's stupid. That's so disrespectful on so many different levels. It doesn't even make any sense. Do you know, I've been trying to go somewhere talking about like in July. Do you know when I first thought of it? 4 different babysitters just in case something comes up. I'm lining y'all up. Hey, you busy that? Okay, let's go to the next. And I only got 1. And it's not even that you actually even have to watch this child because he watches himself. Him and Baby Shark, they do just fine.
Oh, my hair is just...
But it's like...
that Baby Shark. Hey, Ting. That baby.
But I just my baby. I cannot see anybody in their right mind to just assume that somebody is going to watch your kids, and you ain't told me like not a word, even like a fake one. Like, hey, we finna go to this cruise. Would you be available to watch my kids? Like that, like just throwing it out there. Like ain't gave me no dates, no nothing, and I'd be like, sure, yeah. But you planned this whole trip without securing a babysitter for your children, and then you have the audacity to get mad at me because I don't want to watch your kids.
I'm saying what they should have did. She said my aunt is retiring. She made plans to go on a cruise with her family, and her adult children are going. So the 3-year-old was her cousin's baby. If they were smart, if they could have worked this out. They should have been, hey, cousin, go ask Sheila if she can watch your 3-year-old while you go on this cruise. Whatever. Because, I mean, she probably would have said, yeah. Like, hey, I'm going on this cruise with my mom for her retirement trip. Can you watch the baby? Can you watch my 3-year-old? She probably would have said, yeah. Then y'all could have made y'all family group, like, added the extended family. And then, because she said it was her sister. So then your sister could have been like, oh, such and such invited us to the trip. What's her name said you're already watching her 3-year-old, whatever. So can you watch my kids too? Because then it'd be like, okay, y'all going, because you already have committed to watching the baby. So you can't go. Because you've already committed to the 3-year-old, whatever. So they just did it all the way backwards, whatever.
Booty butt backwards, and that's what they get. And if you didn't get your money back, that's your fault.
That baby said we went on a trip and we enjoyed ourselves, made beautiful memories.
That is the funniest part.
Like, that's right, baby.
But that's so crazy that the auntie talking about some. That's what family do. Family. Now you want to bring in family? Yes.
So they said, because she didn't answer the phone and she didn't do whatever, multiple people missed the trip. So why did, if in this case, if it was just your cousin and your sister, why your sister just didn't forfeit her trip and stay at home? Because she the one that got the 3 kids. She got a 2-year-old and she got the infants. Because this is y'all cousins. I'm guessing it's your cousin's mom's retirement trip. Because if you're not available and you ain't answering the phone, but we all then did whatever, why now is my cousin going to forfeit her trip? And the cousin, my sister and my cousin going to forfeit the trip. Y'all can't go. Between the two of y'all should have figured out, well, one of us can still go. Such and such ain't answering her phone. She not going to watch these kids. So we need to figure out what we going to do, because if we don't go, so now, but she said multiple. So maybe the cousin got a husband and she got a husband. So now 4 people can't go on a trip. No, it could only just be 2 that's not going to go, because we going to stay and watch the kids. Such and such, in our mind, she being petty. So you know what? I ain't going to make you miss your mama retirement trip. You gone. I'll stay here with the kids then. I don't want to, but so like, it's like that her family just sounds very selfish, because y'all expected her to do this. And then when it didn't work out that she didn't do it, y'all just made everybody miss their trip. Like, nobody was like, I'll sacrifice, but y'all wanted her to sacrifice her time and watch all of y'all kids. But nobody could sacrifice to be like, okay, I'll just stay. I'll stay and watch all the kids. You didn't do that
with y'all.
Then you had the nerve to say you can meet us in Hawaii, but you gotta find childcare.
Your own accommodations.
I don't care about the own accommodations, but you gotta find childcare, which means that you want me to find somebody else to watch your kids.
And these are not my kids. Like, that is booty butt backwards. Like, you cannot do that.
Yeah.
Oh no, in no grounds are y'all right. At not any levels of the ground.
Your family is the butthole.
Exactly.
Your family is the butthole. If you watch this, because this was a month ago, this baby put this question up there. I'm like, girl.
Well, tag her in there and tell her, you
I
ain't
don't know
baby.
her name. I don't be on Reddit. I don't know. Well, whatever her name, I don't know. But anyway, baby, no, you ain't. You not. Your family is the butthole. Like,
the audacity. I honestly wouldn't even want to go on a trip with them. First of all, y'all didn't even invite me. How y'all going?
And that's what she said. She said originally she didn't even really want to go because they didn't invite her, but she was trying to be like, okay, maybe it was just an oversight. Because then she said, I figured if it really was an oversight, then once I took off and added herself to the trip, there wouldn't have been no problem. But then she like, oh no, there's
the whole cruise is
sold out. Like, girl. That is so crazy. But all right, y'all. That's it. That's all we got to say today. Join us in 2 weeks. And we'll be back talking to y'all. That's it. Oh, or join us on Wednesdays for We View Wednesdays. If you watch Real Housewives of Atlanta, we be talking about the ratchetness and the stuff and the things. So check it out. Let us know what you think. And we'll see y'all again. Ta-ta.
Toodles. Hey, FOE.
FOE.
Faith over everything.
Faith over everything.
FOE.
FOE.
Faith over